Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and we have some recent sales for the vintage collection. Obviously, that Star Speeder 3000 has been a hot seller on eBay, and that is sold out. There was a SDCC Death Star box set, a couple of autographs, some recent releases, a few TVC 1.0. No big surprises here. I did pick out a couple of vehicle sales from this past week. So, and maybe 3 or 4 graded items, not too many. New Patreon. I needed to say thank you to, and I've been meaning to do it, and I haven't had a chance to do it. So, Craig, I'm sorry for the delay here, but Craig Mathers recently became a Patreon supporter. I forgot to do it last week, so I just wanted to make sure to recognize Craig for becoming a Patreon. Really appreciate the channel support from you guys. It means a lot to me. Let's go ahead and dig into the sales. All of these sales, I think, are over the last 7 days or so. And again, there wasn't anything too crazy here, but, you know, I know you guys like the vintage collection, so I try to at least put out a weekly video on recent sales. All right, so we had another Darth Vader name pill, VC13 Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith. This one did sell for $125, which I thought was a really good deal. I don't know if the Meyer price tag in the lower right-hand corner is a negative for some of y'all. Me personally, I don't know if I'd really necessarily mind price tags, even on modern stuff. I think it's kind of cool to see that this sold for $8 originally. And again, it was an unpunched Darth Vader name pill, and obviously not nearly as expensive as the Anakin Skywalker name pill if it's unpunched. But $125 seems like a really good deal to me. $125 plus $5 shipping. This one was the US card for the VC13. Next up, that Magna Guard that I had in my what to buy video did sell, and I'm not terribly surprised by it. This is Power Droid. I didn't look up to see if he had any other recent sales. I'm sure he probably did, but this one I had to cover, right? This is the VC18 Magna Guard unpunched, and I think it was Bantha Skull that had an article way back when saying that there are some unpunched early TVC 1.0 that you probably don't care about, but you probably should, and the Magna Guard is one of them because it's very tough to find unpunched. And I had it in my what to buy video, I think last week, and I said $350 is really not a bad deal at all, and it did finally sell. We've documented, it might have been more than a year ago now, so in all fairness, this data point is old, but I remember there being, I think it was Jeff Jacobs. Jeff Jacob had through his eBay channel or eBay, listings, he had an AFA 9.0 Magna Guard unpunched, so it was graded, and it was in an auction, and I think it sold for around $900 if memory serves. And there's been 2 or 3 other data points kind of in that ballpark for graded unpunched Magna Guards, and for ungraded, I think that $350 is probably about right. $350 to $400 if you're looking for that one. They don't pop up much, but when they do, they usually do sell in that ballpark. Ungraded, unpunched, $350 for that Magna Guard. Next up, we had a punched Clone Commander Cody. This is the second one I've seen in about as many weeks. And this one looked to be a little bit cleaner than the one we had last week. This one did have some edge wear around the hang tab and then the upper left on the back. But VC19 Clone Commander Cody, $186 on this one, and then there was another one that I think sold for around $175 in an auction. So Clone Commander Cody, if you're looking for that one, punched $175 to $200 in that ballpark. Here was a punched Princess Leia slave outfit. Now, in all fairness, it did have a scratch on the card that you can see right there going through the logo. So that probably held the price down just a little bit. We documented, I think last week, a punched example, or excuse me, an unpunched example that sold for around $200. This one sold for $229. So I would say that this one's probably a little high, in my opinion, just given the fairly pronounced scratch. Maybe that comes out if you buff it out a little bit. I don't know. Use like a microfiber cloth and just kind of very lightly buff it to see if that would pop out. I would be very careful doing that though. Unpunched Oddball, another example sold. This one sold for $120. And it did look really clean. This was the US card, unpunched with the Darth Maul offer. 120s on the upper end of the scale. We've documented them lately where they've been around 95 to $100 in that ballpark. But I did want to show that one because that one did sell for quite a bit of money. And then here was the original issue Star Killer VC100 with the Darth Maul offer. That one sold for $165. That's a big number, a little bit bigger than what we're used to lately. It seems like in an auction, you're probably talking closer to $100, but $165 and a buy it now, that's a big number. And probably a little more than I'd be willing to pay. Clone Trooper Lieutenant, this is VC109, unpunched on the US card. That one sold for $160. Another big number there. $125 to $140 is the kind of the number that I'm used to for this one. But again, in buy it nows, you're going to pay a little bit more usually, unless they have a make an offer option. But I did want to at least point that one out. The Hasbro Pulse, apparently, I didn't know this, but Hasbro Pulse did have Chopper and Sabine Wren available. And this seller had a few that they wanted to show that, hey, I did order 5 of them. The scalpers are in full swing here. And this seller got them for $50 a pop, and then he resold them at $100. So the scalpers are doing pretty well here. He had 4 available. I guess he was keeping one for himself, but he sold all 4 and he made 100% profit. Obviously, that's before eBay fees and things like that. And then this seller also had 5 available, but he's charging $155. So it's unfortunate that the scalpers just get in there early, but they use probably some kind of software to kind of force their bid in on the Hasbro Pulse. And so this seller had 5, 2 of them have sold, and obviously it's a little bit slower selling for this seller because he's trying to mark it up so much relative to this seller that basically doubled the price there. So next up, we got some vehicles that sold. This is the Millennium Falcon with the Star Wars racetrack, and this is from 2012. This one did have some dings on the actual packaging here. You can see there in the lower left-hand corner, it had a fairly pronounced ding. This side was pretty good, but this one has a creepy kid face again. Creepy kid face. I would be pretty excited too. In all fairness, I would be really excited to have this if I was his age. So that was a pretty nice looking example of a factory seal Millennium Falcon with the Star Wars racetrack for $11.50 in an auction. 31 bids for $11.50 plus $57 shipping. So let's call that about $475 all in for the Millennium Falcon. The Empire Strikes Back AT-AT, this one sold for $710. This one had 69 watchers before it finally did sell for $710. And this was obviously the Toys R Us exclusive. And this one looked to be in pretty good shape. You know, there was some very minor wear to it, but overall very clean relative to some other examples I've seen. Now, that's a little higher on the price point for the Empire Strikes Back packaging for the all-terrain armored transport, but $710 did take that home finally, plus a minor shipping charge. Now, we did also have an auction for the HasLab Katana sail barge, and this one was still factory sealed. Shipping was $72 on it, but that's the first time I've seen one sell under $2,000 in a while. It seems like they've been hovering $2,200-ish, and that one did sell for $1,975 on 43 bids. That one did close on August 31st. So interesting sale there. And again, another huge data point for the D23 Star Tours Star Speeder 3000. And I do like the packaging on that one. Pretty cool. Basically trying to outrun the TIE fighters there with no weapons whatsoever. But that one was listed for $11.50, which is a pretty good markup. A pretty good markup. Now, they were hovering like $700, $750. We talked about this last week and probably the video before that as well. But it seems like lately the last few sales have been in that $1,100 to $1,200 range. And again, I would not pay that. I think they're going to re-release that. That's been a couple of comments that I've received from you guys who have watched it on the video, but who have watched my last video. So $11.50 seems kind of ridiculous. It seems like they re-release it, or they put out another wave of them, and they sell out really quickly, but it's just about how annoyed you want to be trying to wait and trying to get in there on Disney's website, Disney Online, to get one of these. But $11.50 it did sell for, plus another $80 shipping. So that's over $1,200 for that item, which is ridiculous. There's a really good review showing this one versus the earlier release. I can't remember what year it was from, that only one Kenobi had. And I'm sure, some of the other big YouTubers have done. I think Victoria's Cantina did one as well. So you can go check out the differences and comparisons there on Only One Kenobi's video. I did see that one. Congrats to him. Some autographs that did sell before we finish things off with showing a couple of graded items. This was another Rosario Dawson, signed Corvus Ahsoka Tano in gold writing there. That one was listed for $260. The best offer accepted on that one was $230. I really like that one for some reason. I don't know why. I just like that face sculpt a lot. It really does a good job of capturing Rosario Dawson's likeness there. So $230 on that one. The other autograph I wanted to show you was from Daniel over at One Stop Comic Shop. He had a CAS 80 graded signature series Ray Park signed Darth Maul VC 86. So this is the original issue Darth Maul unpunched with the Darth Maul offer sticker. And that one was listed for $300. Best offer accepted on that one was $245. But that one was graded using the CAS yellow label signature series. 80, 80, 90 was the final grading on that one. And so the best offer accepted again was $245, free shipping on that. Some other graded items. This was a AFA 8.5 foil Obi-Wan Kenobi. So this is the foil example Ultimate Galactic Hunt graded 8.5 FET offer foil logo. And that one sold in a buy it now for $149. And this one I just wanted to point out. This one was listed for $120. This is the Luke Skywalker Imperial Light Cruiser. Another really cool card back there, and very affordable, even graded in a 9.0 gold level from AFA. That one sold for $90 in a best offer accepted. Darth Revan continues to be very expensive. It must have been a very low production run on this one, because even ungraded, they're going for, I'd say on the low end, $78. That's the lowest recent sale I've seen, to as high as $100 ungraded. This one was an uncirculated 8.5 and sold for $300. So that is one to keep an eye out for graded, because even ungraded, they're very, very pricey. But that Darth Revan uncirculated 8.5 did sell on one bid for $299 plus $13 shipping. And then finally, we did have another SDCC Death Star box set, and they seem to be hovering in that price point of $1,400. So this one did sell $1,400 plus $100 shipping on that one. And let's see if we can get a good shot. They didn't actually show it opened. They show it still, factory sealed. So that one did sell for $1,400. So don't overpay on this one. If you're still looking for this and you're dead set on getting one, this is a really good price point to aim for, is that $1,500 after shipping number. Even though we've seen a few data points, $1,800, $2,000 and above, but it seems like it's really come back down to earth. You just got to keep an eye out for an auction. But $1,400 plus $100 shipping was the final winning bid on this one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this recent look for sales over the past week in the vintage collection. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I'll be back soon.